Parents outraged over shocking bathroom policy in public schools. Let's check it out. This is a suggestion via Discord.
Chicago's new contract with their teachers union has a controversial new provision that says, quote, all students and staff are permitted to use the bathroom or locker room that corresponds with their gender identity. This after the Board of Education found there were 470 sexual misconduct complaints against Chicago public school employees in 2022.
Illinois parent and senior director for labor policy at the Illinois Policy Institute, Miley Smith, joins us now. Miley, that is a very high number of sexual assaults.
Yeah, there's a lot. That's a lot.
Other problems
That's
with
a
teachers.
lot.
So why would they allow this policy? Because my understanding of it is anybody who says they identify
as anything,
somebody from the other gender, whether they are students or teachers, are permitted into the bathroom of their choice.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't understand this.
There are no caveats, no parameters in this provision. It simply says that all students and staff are permitted to use the bathroom of their choice. So a biological male teacher could go into a girl's locker room at any time. And this is irresponsible in a school district that has been rocked by sexual misconduct claims. But unfortunately, the Chicago Teachers Union is a radical, progressive teachers union. And as it ramps up its focus on social justice and political demands in its negotiations, it's moving away from what's best for kids, and it leaves less that parents can do to advocate for their students.
Yeah, guys, listen, I have no idea why some people are so anti-homeschooling. Listen, homeschooling, sometimes gets a really bad rap, all right, where parents that really do not have the, let's say, overall intelligent system built in, let's say, to be able to actually teach their kids the things that are required to pass all these tests specifically, right? But I think if I was in this scenario example, I would be running to take my kids out of this school. Nothing against the people who are involved in all of these things. Do your thing, right? But not my kid. We're not doing that. And I'm not sure that I would allow specifically this to happen. All right. Like if my kid decided to do all these things, we can have multiple conversations about it. Right. But when it comes down to my daughter changing in the locker room and the male teacher just walking straight in saying that he decided that day that he was going to be something different than he was born. That's a rough one here, guys. I'm trying to grasp it. But why would that be a thing? Do I really want this male coach to walk into my daughter's changing room while she's changing? Guys, no. No, bro. No, at all.
So obviously this is really bad for students, and it's bad for parents who care about their children. Who do you think is behind this, and who are these people advocating for?
So behind this is the Chicago Teachers Union, and they actually subscribe to something called bargaining for the common good.
Okay.
And what that means is taking the normal things off the table, like wages and benefits, those things that we identify with bargaining
Unions
over
in
a
general.
collective bargaining agreement, and putting political provisions into the contract. So that's really just what CTU is. It's become a radical political player in Chicago and elsewhere. They're taking these policies to other cities. They're seeking to implement their progressive policies through collective bargaining agreements rather than taking them through the proper legislative construct, which means that parents and students are getting the results of that, which is bad for them.
Yeah, homeschool your kids immediately.
Right, because they think they own your kids. And that's really what the message is. I'm just curious, what's it like to be a parent like you? And I suppose the others that support you in this district. How are you treated? How does it feel? Does it feel lonely? Tell me what it's like.
Well, I have 3 kids. One's out of high school now, two teenage daughters. And fortunately, we have not experienced these types of issues in our schools. But my daughter, who will be a junior in a public school, I think it's scary. Teenage girls in particular already face drama and turmoil. And this is just one thing that they don't need to have to deal with in their high school years.
Really quick, Miley, I appreciate what you just said about your daughters. What's it like for you?
As a public school parent, I feel like I constantly have to have my eyes and ears watching what is going on. And so it is definitely something that rocks me to my core at times, to know that I can't just trust that I can send my daughter in particular, who's in high school, to public school, and know that everything's going to just go well during the day, and that she's going to
Specifically in
get
certain places.
exactly what she needs: math, reading, civics, things that should
Matter.
shape her being, and has to worry about other things.
It's not fair.
It
It's
could
your
be,
money.
It could be so much simpler and better for everybody. Thank you, Miley, for joining us.
Okay, guys. Okay. Whoa, I don't like it. Right, again, I have no problem with you as an adult doing whatever you decide to do with your body. It's yours, bro. I have no right to tell you what you can or can't do, right? But when it comes down to kids, specifically my kids, right, I'm not sure I'm going to back the whole concept of you being a grown man with a beard, right, walking into the girls' locker room because you decided that you were going to be different than how you were born. Right, like that's not a thing that I'm going to be openly accepting of, bro. I don't like. There's nothing that would change my mind on that instance. You grown man in the locker room with my daughter. There's nothing. I don't care how you feel. None of these things matter when it comes to my kids. To be honest, and this is absolutely why my daughter, as of right now, won't be going to high school. Like we already have tutors in place specifically for her. Like as soon as the school year ends, she's basically out. Yeah. We're not going to basically partake in the public school system. They're basically failing in terms of what they're teaching her. She does not know enough, right? And that's definitely something very troubling here. People may ask, well, why doesn't she know enough? Guys, I just got custody of her. I got full custody of her pretty recently. And based off of this, and this is after her whole life of parental alienation. So I finally got custody of her, and she does not know enough. She's not there mentally. She's not not there in terms of her education, and this is what public school has created. If she is a result of public school, then I have no interest in it. I'm sorry, guys. In terms of how much she knows versus how much my 6-year-old knows that I've had custody of his entire life, right? And so that's an issue. At the dinner table, the conversations are absolutely intriguing. Okay. And it's embarrassing, right, to ask a question to the table, right, and my 6-year-old jumps ahead and starts talking about physics and the periodic table and things, guys. So we have an issue here. We absolutely have an issue, a massive issue with public schools. This is why, honestly, truthfully, I don't blame Trump for attempting to dismantle the Department of Education. Because again, if this is the result, then that's a problem. We can't let guys. We will never be able to get rid of the H-1B visa if we do not educate our population to the point where they can actually take over these jobs, guys. Right? All right. But all right, listen, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. You guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day. Not really.